All right, so we're calling Chicago Police headquarters.
You have reached police non-emergency. Did you know that you can file 30 police reports?
We just got done sitting on hold for close to 30 minutes at another area, 18th District. This is 3510 South Michigan, this number. But we just got done calling the other number, 18th District, which is Gold Coast jurisdiction, and sitting on hold for 30 minutes and no one answered. Let's see if they answer now. So anyone who's been following knows that I've filed hundreds of petitions and complaints with regards to the numerous sexual assaults that I have endured, robberies, thefts, gang stalking, break-ins, floodings to my apartment, destroying my property, my vehicle being destroyed, etc. and so forth. There's a very long list, a 423-page list of things that have happened since 2019 in various counties and states that are all related. It's probably and most likely the same assailant, the same predator. And since I have all these petitions on file and complaints and police reports, but no one has done anything, I continue to call. It's been 4 years of me calling, asking for status updates, getting no information. And every time I call, I say, is there a detective assigned? And they say no. Or Lombard said yes, Detective Rojas. And Detective Rojas finally called me back, and I said, I just want to know the status of the case. And she said, we've done no investigating. So this is sexual assault. I was bludgeoned. I was stabbed. These are not easy cases. These are violent crimes. I'm being denied my right to victim services, which is called Marcy's Law. I have filed numerous 7 or 8 in-person petitions with the Daily Center as well as 555 West Harrison for protection. All have been ignored, denied, or refused to give me a court date. Via email, I have sent hundreds of emails. They gave me this paper. Babe, can you hand me the Adidas backpack, please? Or is it, like, not in a convenient spot? If you can get to it, great. If not, no big deal. I'm going to show you guys this paper so that I have this on file. And I've shown it before if you guys are familiar with my YouTube channel or any one of my Instagrams, including the one Heather GEE account. I make all of these calls live. So I always do it in a public place and live online so that I have many, many witnesses that the calls are actually being made. And I document the responses I've been given. So at this point, it seems like I don't even need a lawyer. I just need to get in front of a judge, and there is no way that I can be denied. But none of the officers so far have even collaborated with each other. So like in Barrington, I was staying in a gated community. I was taking care of an older man. His name is Charlie. And he was helping me out by allowing me to clean his properties in exchange for $200 to $300 a week. And I was staying at the extra room in his home. While I was, this is a gated community, mind you, and I'm from Chicago. Elmhurst is the farthest west I've ever lived. Barrington is far away. It's like northwest. It's like an hour and a half or so away. I was staying in a gated community, and someone broke into his gated community, into his garage, and keyed my car. I know, it's scary. No one knew I was staying there except for my dad, my grandma, and like my kids. And they would never tell anyone. My kids don't even know what Barrington is, you know? So that was in 2020. I've stayed at like 10 or 20 places since then, and something has happened at every single one of them. So there are police reports on file in Barrington with Lake County Police, police reports in Villa Park, Westchester, Lombard. There's a live on the one Heather GEE account where Westchester Police, supposedly, it was really... no police. They were, I call them Gog of Magog. What is it called, babe? Gog of Magog. Because they weren't real cops. Huh?
In the Bible, it means Satanic Police Force, though.
Because they weren't real cops. They were like in all black, head to toe, looking like SWAT gear people in unmarked cars trying to pull me over on Roosevelt and Manheim. I was at Walgreens Pharmacy picking up a prescription, seatbelt on, following all the traffic rules. I had a Cadillac CTS, just paid it off, like feeling like I was finally getting my life back together. I was on my way to drive DoorDash. I pull out of Walgreens and one cop pulls up. Right behind him, another cop. I stop immediately, go to the side of the road, and this is recorded live on the One Heather GEE account. I stop and go to the side of the road. I'm like yelling to the cop, like, because he's not getting out of his car. I'm sitting there for like 5 minutes and he's just sitting there. He starts like going like this out his window. Like, and I look in front of me, there's like this abandoned like parking lot and like with like an alley in it. I'm like, no, I'm not going over there. I'm like, look, I roll my window down. I'm like, I'm in the shoulder of the road. I'm alone. I'm a woman. I'm scared. I'm not going in an alley. I did all of that, right? This guy refuses to tell me what's going on, get out of his car, or approach me. My next step, after telling him I'm not going in a dark alley, I call 911 for Westchester, and I ask them, hey, do you guys have a cop on the road who's making a traffic stop right now for a Cadillac CTS on Manheim and Roosevelt Road? And he's like, and the dispatcher goes, on a live recording, I can neither confirm nor deny that that's a real officer. I took off. Boop, I'm gone. All right, that's all I needed to hear. Like, I'm not letting these three grown men. Now it was a third car coming. No markings on them, all black, and they're in all black. And this is during the BLM time when all the restaurants downtown and high-end stores were getting tossed and broken into and lit on fire, and people's cars were getting stolen. Like, it was wild. I took off. I got into a high-speed pursuit with like 6 of them. None of them had sirens. None of them had or they had sirens, but none of them had like badges on the side of the cars. They were all black vehicles. It was an SUV behind me and then like 2 other vehicles that came later on. They juked me, like they tried to like cause a collision. I just missed, like, you guys have no idea. It was something out of like a real life movie. I threw it in reverse like maybe 4 feet before I like T-boned them. And got away in driving backwards. Like, it was wild. Ended up having to go to court for that because I went to the police station to report being raped. And they arrested me for fleeing and eluding. So I'm getting bullied to an alley by fake cops. I call dispatch on a live feed and they cannot confirm or deny whether they're real cops. But they entered a warrant for my arrest. And when I went to report being sexually assaulted, I was arrested and had to bond out for $400. Not even lying. Bonded out, went to court, told the judge everything that happened. They told me, well, you could take traffic school. That's what they said. They're like, you could go to trial, but there is no legal aid. And it's going to cost seven weeks or something to get you on the docket. Or you can just accept suspension and plead to a reckless driving or something like that. And it won't be on your record if you don't get any more charges in, moving violations for the rest of the year. So I'm like, okay. I have no money. I'm like living in my car at the time. So I say, okay. And I just accept the suspension and pay the $400. Little did I know that was just like the tip of the iceberg and that this harassment and abuse was going to continue. That was 3.5 years ago. We're in 2023 now. And that's not the only time I was followed. I was followed by a formation of Jeeps in Waukegan. I called the police there by Old Orchard Mall and in Skokie, letting them know that I was being followed. I asked dispatch to please dispatch a vehicle. They refused. They said in order for us to dispatch a vehicle, you would need to be parked and give us an address. I said, I am actively being pursued by up to 9 Jeeps right now in a formation behind me. Like, I need help. And they refused to dispatch a car. So that's one of the cases. The sexual assaults in Barrington, Lake County, Villa Park, Lombard. I can't prove that they took place, but I felt like someone had dosed me with some sort of medication and my pants were not on when I woke up. I was wearing like a little bikini with like a big oversized t-shirt to bed. And when I got up, it was not on. It was like open and off. So I filed a police report about that. They were supposed to be investigating that. When I moved to Harwood Heights, my apartment was broken into no less than 10 or 20 times. $800 cash. I say between $500 and $800 because I'm not exactly sure how much it was. I was getting money at the time by driving DoorDash and also by many people just donating the same way they do now, both in person and online. Well, Eric Shaw had been giving me money regularly, like anywhere from $20 to $500 for no reason, to get my kids Christmas gifts, to pay my gym membership, to catch up my just all my bills. And from my understanding, he, like Xavier, like everyone else, was a representative for the state of Illinois, an ally. They were there to help me with this case. And that's what I've been being told this entire time. Well, I would take the 20s, and like, I'm so used to being abused in relationships financially, just from the whole Dylan thing, that like I started hiding my money. Dylan had a drug problem. So if anyone who's ever been with a drug addict, it's very difficult to keep money, you know? So I would like ball up the $20 out of habit. Same thing with my medication. I would hide it always so that no one could steal it from me. So I had a storage locker at the U-Haul Jefferson Park, and I threw all my stuff in there and then hid $20 in a shoe, in a coat pocket, in a dress, wherever. Or I don't know if it was Jefferson Park. It was the one by Cicero and Milwaukee. Portage Park. And all that money I had, plus this like little unicorn. Eric had thrown this unicorn out of a moving car window with money attached to the neck of the unicorn. And I had all that cash, and I had it like balled up in my apartment. I go downstairs to use the gym, hard boil like 5 eggs, come back up. All the eggs are missing, or like 2-3 eggs out of the 5 are missing. I'm like, did somebody break into my apartment? I just changed the locks. I just got new security cameras inside. What is going on? I call the police. They come. They show up. They go, that's great, ma'am, but do you need a doctor's appointment? So now you're harassing me. So now I'm being broken into and robbed, and you're refusing to accept the case. They did not dust for fingerprints. They did not evaluate the crime scene. They didn't even come up to my apartment. They met me in the lobby and just treated me like shit. Like 3 weeks after that, I woke up, my sheets were covered in body fluids. Clean sheets, clean gray sheets, covered in body fluids. And I say body fluids because I live alone, and I don't know what other kind of fluids would be spread all over my sheets. When I laid down, they were clean. When I woke up, they were covered in body fluids. And the locks, all the locks on my doors were open. So the lock at the top was churned, the deadbolt was churned, and I had like installed these hotel locks. You guys know those hotel locks where like on the door, there's like this little like long thing, and there's like a hook. Hi, I'm sorry, is this the Chicago Police Department, 18th District? I'm sorry? Who are you? Oh, is this 3510 South Michigan?
No, ma'am. If you want that number to you, I can give it to you.
Okay, I just want to get in contact with like, who's the main boss for all of CPD?
Here, I'll give you the number for it.
Okay, cool. Okay, I'm ready whenever you are.
Are you ready to write it down?
I am, yes I am.
The number's going to be 312.
Uh-huh.
745.
Uh-huh.
5103.
And the name?
It's going to be Brian. It's going to be Superintendent Snelling.
Smellin'?
Snelling.
Oh, smelling. Is that the guy that comes out on all the press conferences? Because that's the one I want to talk to.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for your help. What was your name?
I'm Officer Chisholm.
Officer Chisholm. Thank you so much. You have a nice day.
You too.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Okay, so you guys see I Googled, and that's the number they gave me, and then I've been on hold for literally like probably 45 minutes all combined, and now I have to call another number. We're going to call it, and then I'll get right back to tell you guys about all this other stuff that's been going on. But I have about like 10 of these live videos, all proving that everything I've been saying is true this entire time, that I have been doing all of my, work to do the right thing and contact the right people for victim services and restitution. But they're not doing shit. They're not helping me, you guys. And it's very frustrating. Hold on. Okay, it's ringing.
Officer Hinkle, front desk headquarters.
Hi, officer. I was looking for Superintendent Smelling, or if there was a time that I could come in and meet with him in person, or maybe on a Zoom call. It's a pretty urgent matter.
The only way you can get in contact with the superintendent send it via email.
Okay, what's his email address?
Okay, hold on 1 second.
Okay, thank you.
Hello?
Yes.
It's Clear Path. That's CLEAR
Uh-huh.
PATH
Uh-huh.
at chicagopolice.org. ORG.
Okay, cool. And then I just have one more question. So,
Yes.
I began I call it gang stalking because I don't know a better word. And I could explain very briefly. I know you guys are busy, but I was staying in Airbnb after being unlawfully displaced from my home. I was in an abusive relationship. I had requested an order of protection and it was denied, and I was thrown outside with nowhere to go. I'm 36 years old with 3 children. I've never been homeless before. So that put me in a position to be like not able to support myself, not be able to keep myself safe. I was sexually assaulted. I was bludgeoned. I was stabbed. I was beaten. I've never been in a fist fight in my life prior to all this happening, and like I said, I just can't defend myself from some of these situations.
Right.
And I've been reporting them in various jurisdictions and cities and towns because it's not only Chicago that it's taken place. They even followed me to Miami, South Beach, as well as Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And there are police reports and complaints filed everywhere. Every time I try to call like any of the detectives to tell them, can you guys please work together? Because I think it's the same people attacking me. I don't think it's like random occurrences in all these locations. I'm having such a hard time getting any one hand to like meet with the other. And everyone keeps telling me, no, we haven't talked to any other law enforcement agency. How do I like, I've even taken it as far as to typing all of this up with direct links to all of my social medias where I have proven that I'm either being stalked or sexually assaulted or robbed. And I like take a video of it and then I type up a narrative and I pass it out to law enforcement in the street, like everywhere I go. How do I get a response from anyone? Isn't there one person that that is in charge of I used to work in the hospital, and for us, it was like called obtaining patients' medical records. So like there used to be someone assigned that would be like, okay, well, we're going to call everywhere you've been and get all the info. Is there someone at your place of business that is responsible for that would like meet with other or contact other areas to obtain these reports?
Well, one thing you have to do is talk to the chief of detectives and let me see.
Okay.
Hold on, give me 1 second.
Okay, for sure. Thank you.
All right. Where is it? All right. All right, what's that? All right. Hey, what's happening, man? Yeah, I'm still looking for the number.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah. No problem.
It's so funny that anytime I engage with the comments, they turn very negative and like hostile. It's so sad. I have tons of fans, hundreds of thousands of fans. They just don't take their time coming onto my live to be abusive.
Okay, now, the incident that happened in Chicago, do you know the address where it occurred?
There have been a whole bunch. The first one and the one I would start with would be 2037 West Roscoe. I don't live at that address anymore, but that was my home address that I shared with the person I was attempting to get the emergency order of protection against. He had just been released. We were on a reality show called Love After Lockup, and he was on parole and just got out of prison. So I kind of, everything in the house was mine, and I was the stable person in the relationship. I think because he was involved in like some work with the detectives or the state of Illinois, they were like, we're not going to throw him back in prison because we need him for these convictions. And so instead they threw me into the street, which would have been fine if I wasn't being gang stalked out there. Like if I was able to just get another job and get my own apartment again, like I have my entire life, I wouldn't even be calling you right now. But they've chased me out of 20 jobs at least. I think it's 22 jobs now. All legal jobs like personal training, LA Fitness, Export Fitness, Cafe Oliva downtown here, bartending, like all regular legal jobs. They find me within a few weeks of me working there, and they come there to my job and like show up, and it's scary, you know, and I just want it to stop. And it's been all over. Like I said, 2037 West Roscoe is the primary address of like most of the stuff that's happened, but there are like probably 100 other addresses that I could provide. And a bunch of the times that the cars are chasing me down the street, they form formations. There have been Teslas as well as Jeeps, where literally there are anywhere from 6 to 9 cars, all the same make and model, and they form like some sort of weird, scary formation around me on the expressway or Lakeshore Drive. So there's not an actual static address. I'm literally in motion while the shit is going on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. That first email, see if you can get in contact with the superintendent through that email. And then it sounds like it happened up north, so I'm going to give you the deputy chief's number. That's area 3.
Okay, cool.
It's area code 312.
Okay.
744.
Okay.
3817.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, if that's all right, take it easy. If that's not the right deputy chief, then when you contact that number, then they'll probably direct you to the correct deputy chief. But it sounds like the incident happened up north.
Okay, and then just one more question. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for your patience. You know the office that does FOIA? Is that on 18th or 35th, or which office is that? The one by the Sox Stadium, I thought it was.
Does what again? I'm sorry.
The FOIA releases to release body cam footage from each of the police contacts?
That comes out of the that can I know in the districts you can request it. Oh, what does that come out of?
So there's not just one office. I have to go to every single. Okay.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for your help. You have a great day, Officer Chisholm. I appreciate your time.
No problem. Enjoy your weekend.
Thanks. Bye-bye. So that's kind of the same thing. I've literally been doing this. I've filled out FOIAs at all these locations. I kind of get the same information. There have been different superintendents and different detectives, but it's never a matter of them just blatantly ignoring me like, we're not going to listen. They just don't take action. Like they literally are just like, oh, you were raped, beaten, robbed, abused, and chased down the street. Try calling this guy. He might be able to help. And I'm just there like, where am I right now? I don't know what to do. So, anyways, I just wanted to make that call live because every like 3 months, I like to do a status update here. I had several drop boxes with a bunch of info as well as SD cards and flash drives. Like, I know it sounds so 90s or 2000s to say that, but they have been compromised. So I always like going live because I have a bunch of people on the other end who are screen recording. So just in case it isn't saved with Insta, YouTube, TikTok, any of the other live stations that I use, I know there are people on the other end who also have copies of the videos. So I just have to keep on, doing my best to figure this out and not let it die. I have 3 children waiting for me. My oldest is going into her senior year of high school. And my youngest is, 9 years old. She's about to be 10. They've lived with me their entire lives before Dylan's release. So my life has not been the same in any way, shape, or form at all since Dylan came home, and not for the better. He is 100% the center of everything that has gone on with me. So I'm glad you guys were here. Thank you so much. For everyone who's talking shit in the comments, I'm going to say it again. Please block yourself. If your biggest joy in life is coming into my comments to tell me all of these ignorant things, you should die. I don't know what else to tell you. I've been so nice. I've been so patient. Go away. Get off of my page. I don't need haters. I'm not trying to be famous. I'm here live because I have no other way to store this information. Hello. All right, guys, for everyone else, for all the positive, kind people who have shown love or supported or sent $5 or sent a gift card to Domino's or Pizza Hut or what, anyway, someone sent a box of makeup, eternity clothes, any way that you guys have been supportive, thank you so much. And I hope you all have a great weekend. And I will keep you guys updated. Monday's going to be a big day because I'm going to go into the Department of Public Aid, where I've also been updating them on a play-by-play of everything that's gone on. I've written out handwritten narratives so that there can be no question as to who wrote it and submitted it to my account. And I've made sure that they scan and take copies and put it in my file with the Department of Public Health, with many different area hospitals, as well as with many area police stations. So I do not plan on giving up on this ever until my life is restored and I'm able to live in peace without being stalked, chased, raped, beaten, robbed, abused, etc., and so forth. Again, thank you guys. Have a great day.